Hey guys, this is Sarah, and I just wanted to do a quick review of the new Wonder Woman movie. I apologize for the lighting and the noises in the background. I'm on the way to a show this evening, but I really wanted to go ahead and get this review taken care of before the movie comes out. I think that some theaters are showing it tonight, so I just wanted to get my opinion out there before you guys go and see it, because I know you're my friends and you're gonna go see it quickly because it's a superhero movie. So I'm just gonna jump right into the review here. A lot of you may have already seen my post talking about Gal Gadot. I actually learned that her name does have a T on the end of it. When she was announced as the casting for Wonder Woman, I was actually really not a fan. I started out getting into Wonder Woman a lot more recently with the New 52 comic books, and I really liked that aesthetic for Wonder Woman. I liked the big, powerful, bulky aesthetic that she had, and for me, Gal just was really not that. That on top of her resume as an actress was not exactly stellar, and so me, of course, I went into it feeling like, oh, here's another model turned actress sent to ruin one of my heroes, and I was very, very pessimistic going into this movie. That being said, she knocked it out of the park for me. This movie completely changed my mind about her as an actress, about her as Wonder Woman. I thought that she did such a good job as Diana. Even the aesthetic after a while was really not, it didn't bother me. She just has such a good way of coming across as both very naive and very wise, and I thought that she just was such a good actress. I was really shocked to see how good of an actress she was. And that being said, I'm going to start out this by saying, for all of the people who are worried that this is a man-hating movie, and this new long line of kind of like female empowerment movies gone wrong, do not fear. This is not that movie. This movie is not going to be a rehash of Ghostbusters where you have every guy is either a moron or a villain and women are the only good characters. That's not what is going to go on here whatsoever. Now, some scenes in the movie do kind of pander to women. If you've seen the trailer, you already know that part of this movie is kind of a tale of Diana leaving the Amazons and exploring the new world and getting to know the new world. And one of the scenes in the movie, and this is not a spoiler, it's your typical dress-up scene, the makeover scene, the finding the outfit scene, and I liked it. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It was totally pandering to the female audience, but I was like, here we are. Whatever. It's fine. Some of the action shots in the movie also felt kind of pandering to women, kind of like, we're showing you these women, and maybe it's just because of how it was done, or maybe it's just being a woman. It just felt like it was coming across in that way, like, wow, look at this woman, this is a woman and she's super strong. Kind of got that vibe a little bit at first, but the action was done super well. They did use the kind of, I don't know, I always called it bullet time because of the Matrix, but the whole slow frame by frame shot of action where you get to see this leads to this action, you know what it is. But I find that so much better than this like hyper jump cut kind of action that's become part of these superhero movies, especially in Batman vs Superman. I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I have no idea what's going on. So I was really surprised that they went the other way and they did the slower action, and I liked it and it worked. But again, some of it did kind of feel like it was pandering. But it was so cool. There's one of the first action scenes in the movie involves the Amazons, and while I'm watching it, I was like almost getting emotional watching it because, man, this is so freaking cool to see these women doing these like crazy action shots, and it's, I mean, there are men involved too, but it was just cool. It was just cool as a woman to see that. So maybe it was pandering, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed the action. Getting back to the acting in the movie, I thought Gal did a really great job. Like I said, she has this really great ability to both seem like naive and wise at the same time. And there's been a lot of discussion lately about this new trope that's being called Born Sexy Yesterday, which is basically where you have someone who's in a new environment or a new situation, and it's typically a woman, and they just act like infants. And she did not come across that way at all to me. She's naive and she's exploring the world around her, but she's not a moron who's walking around following Chris Pine's character going like, ooh, a car, ooh, well, this or that. You know, she's like taking it all in, and she's sticking to her mission, and she's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a fish out of water, kind of like she's learning about the world around her, but she's not to the point where she's a moron and she's dependent upon him. And I really like that, because I'm tired of seeing that in these movies, you know. Even he has some of that when he goes and you know, he crash lands where the Amazons are. He's kind of learning about them, and so it's nice to see the duality that they go back and forth and they both get to experience that role. I thought that Chris Pine and Gal their characters were so cute together. They had like a ton of really good chemistry together. It was very believable. The comedic timing between the two of them was really, really good. They just played off each other really, really well. One of the things, and this is starting to get into more of the criticism of the movie, is that the supporting characters for this movie, while it was really, really well acted, they were so cliche. I don't remember any of the names of the supporting characters. I thought they were cute and they were interesting, but it almost felt like they came out of the mold of, we're putting together a ragtag group of fighters, you know, so let's have this guy and this guy and this guy, and it's just one of those things where you see it in so many movies to where it's kind of like, okay, well, here we go again with this bit. And they, like I said, they were good. It was well acted, but it was very much expected. And that leads me into my biggest criticism of the movie, and this is something that I have been saying since I saw the trailer for this movie, and if you've heard me talk about it before, I wouldn't be surprised, is that this movie felt very Captain America. And it's not just the time frame of the movie or the subject matter of the movie, but just a lot of the plot at the end. There were so many parallels between Wonder Woman and Captain America, and I feel like if you've seen the Captain America movies, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And not that that's bad, because the Captain America movies are probably my favorite in the Marvel universe, but it's just really, really hard to ignore. It wasn't enough to make me dislike the movie, but it's pretty blatant. Another big problem that I had with this movie is that the villains are so bland. I don't really get it, because DC has such a good array of villains, and then when you look at shows like Gotham, who have these like really fully realized villains, you know, DC Universe villains, and obviously this isn't a Batman movie, but it's just like, I know that they can do better than this. The villains were, again, not very memorable. I don't remember their names. It gets better at the end. The villain, no spoilers, that come out at the end was really super cool, and actually it almost reminded me of something from Final Fantasy. If you see it and you're a Final Fantasy fan, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's, you know, up until that point, like around like 3/4 of the way through the movie, I'm like, I see where this is going. Can we just get to that part? Because these villains are boring me to death. I have some notes here. There are some pretty cringy pieces of this movie. There's one scene in particular. I was like, man, and I'm thinking about it while I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't know if this is cringy because it's a woman. I'm like, and I was thinking to myself while I'm watching it, I'm like, am I down low sexist? Like, if this was Captain America, would this be this cringy? And I don't know. I honestly don't know, but there's one scene in particular that I was watching it and I'm like, almost, you know, when you're like almost embarrassed for a movie, you're like, yikes, that's awkward. There was one really, really bad scene about that. And then towards the ending, it gets kind of cringy as well. The ending is so CG heavy that at the time I wasn't really sure how to feel about it. but thinking back on it, I really liked the ending. It's a visual assault. It was very, very CGI heavy, very bright, and a lot of stuff going on. It's very fast, but I really liked it. I thought that the character design for the villain was super cool, and the battle was really, really well done. It's just one of those things where at the time you're just like, ugh, there's so much going on right now. I don't know how to feel about this, but it's corny, and some of it's cliche and kind of sappy, but I liked it. I really did. Of course my audio went out, but I just wanted to say overall the movie as a whole is not perfect, but when you compare it to the other DC movies, they cannot even hold a candle to this movie. Wonder Woman was so much better than the other movies, which I know is not really saying that much, but if the DC movies keep going this direction, I am seriously excited for the Justice League movie, and that's something that I never thought I would say. After seeing Batman vs. Superman, I was just really not sure, because that movie just, yikes, yeah, that movie was tough. But yeah, this one is just, like I said, head and shoulders above the other movies, and being that it's a movie about a female superhero, and that it didn't get as much advertisement as some of the other superhero movies, it's just really, really exciting. And you know, I'm happy to say that I was really pleasantly surprised. Even if you are not a fan of Gal Gadot, give it a chance. She could change your mind. I mean, I was really not a big fan of hers at all, but she definitely changed my mind, and I thoroughly enjoyed her performance. Say if I had to give this movie a grade, I would give it a B++, only because some of the moments were pretty cringy, and some of the movie did seem kind of cliche and kind of borrowed from Captain America, but overall it was extremely, extremely enjoyable movie. And I think that if you give it a chance and kind of just let it take you and feel the fantasy, then they're really gonna enjoy it. So yeah, that is my review for Wonder Woman. Sorry it was so fast and scatterbrained and terribly edited, but I did it for you guys. I got it out there. I hope you enjoy the movie and have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys another time.